Hey fellow gamers, today I want to talk about another peripheral for the Vectrex that I built. Uh, now, as most of you recall, probably a few years ago I did a review on the Vectrex arcade system. And I talked about this controller and I had praise for it, and I still do. It's not a bad controller considering what it is. Um, but there are a couple of small annoyances with it. One is that mine's in good shape, but I have heard that the analog joysticks do break easily. So if you want to preserve your controller, um, you might want to go with another controller. Um, but another problem with it is that, since the joystick's kind of small, it's not very comfortable playing it on a table like this. It's more meant to be held in your hand, but the problem with that is when you hold it in your hand, especially when you consider if your fire button was over here, for example, it's very hard to get, even with the last button here, it's very hard to get a turbo fire action from it when you're holding it like this. So, uh, I know there's a lot of homebrew controllers out there, and I wanted to originally build a Vectrex arcade panel. And started off just building a paddle controller, which you guys have probably seen these, and if I have a video of this as well. This is basically just a modified Atari 2600 paddle. And I went ahead and added, a shift lever and brake button. And this works great for games like Hyper Chase and this little homebrew guy here, Vaboom and Vectrex. But what about all the other games? You're either, going to get a modified Genesis controller or something like that, or you're going to be playing with this. Here's my answer to that. Introducing my homemade Vectrex arcade panel. It's a really simple build. This is basically just a large hobby box that I got from Radio Shack. And the buttons, and it's got a HAP Ultimate 8-way joystick on it. I get that from Bob Roberts, who I order most of my arcade parts from. Now, I did have a difficult time wiring this up. I have to give a special shout out right now to the Recycled Gamer, Chuck Van Pelt, who graciously agreed to wire this up for me. I tried twice, and I followed the schematics online, and both times I was having problems with the joystick. It either wouldn't move in one direction, and then the second time I tried it, one direction would input two directions. Things of that nature. I just couldn't quite figure it out. So again, Chuck, thank you. Appreciate you wiring this up for me. Now it's just basically a basic 4-button layout. And since I had room, I went ahead and added these side buttons. And these are flipper buttons for spinball. So, by the way, Chuck also sells on his website. He sells the modified Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo controllers, and from time to time he has arcade panels. Like, he'll have something like this here. This isn't modded and it's dusty as hell, but this is actually a Sega Genesis fighting joystick. And he'll occasionally get joysticks like this, and he'll modify them for use with the Vectrex. But I wanted a true, kind of a Vectrex panel, just the basic 4 buttons and the joystick. By the way, I have this neat little sticker on there. I found that on eBay. So it worked out pretty good. It's a perfect size for it. I'll show you a few quick little gameplay videos with it, show you how it works. Now I'm not claiming to be an expert. I am not the best video game player. I just enjoy playing video games, so, you know, don't judge me if you think I suck. And there's Mindstorm. So yeah, it's a lot better playing with a platform like this where you can get the rapid fire going. Usually, with the other controller, I'd die once or twice before I even got to the second minefield. Ah. And just to show you all the inputs are working. Ooh, I got lucky there. So anyway, that's how it plays with Mindstorm. Let's try another game. Since I've already got spin ball on the top stack, I'll show you how the flipper buttons work. Now this is another game that I am not very good at. Okay. So the down joystick, press the plunger down, then you shoot it. That drain is a bitch. I think you can, yeah. You can go left and right to tilt the table if you need to, nudge it. You can tilt in this game pretty easily. But I'm not an expert pinball player either, so I don't really nudge it that much. Alright. So that's spin ball. We'll play just a couple more. Let's try another one. How about a classic Berserk? Shooting the diagonals is a hell of a lot easier with this joystick. course, you got the typical slowdown. I think there's a debugged version out there that maybe takes care of the slowdown. I don't know. But yeah, the control is a lot more fluent using this kind of joystick with this game. Come on, kill yourself. Give me the bonus. Damn it. Anyway, that's Berserk. One more. How about another classic? Space shooting, Scramble. Oh. I forgot, you gotta get gas in this game. You can see I don't play this one that much. When it comes to these auto-scrolling shooters, this one's good, but I tend to stick with like Gradius 3 or Super R-Type. Oh, I'm gonna run out of gas. Oh. So, anyway, there you have it. There's my Vectrex arcade panel. Now, the one thing I forgot to mention is that since this is a digital input joystick, it doesn't have the analog movement that the original Vectrex controller has. There are a few games that this won't work with, like Hyper Chase. Vaboom and Vectrex is another one that I was talking about. That's why I have the modified paddle for those games. And I believe there's another one, I think it's Starhawk, and it's just like one of the game variations. There's tons of info out there as far as, you know, what games are not playable on a digital joystick like this, or digital input. But yeah, there you go. I was pretty happy with the way it turned out, so I wanted to share it with you guys. That is my Vectrex custom arcade panel. Hope you enjoyed it.